Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about Trinidad's Pitch Lake. It's the world's largest deposit of natural asphalt, spanning about 100 acres and reaching 250 feet deep at its center. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. People have mined millions of tons of asphalt from Pitch Lake for close to 175 years, but the lake never seems to decrease in volume. Some say the lake naturally regenerates asphalt to make up for everything that's extracted. What do you think? Could the conditions at Pitch Lake really create an endless supply of natural asphalt? Or is this just too good to be true? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is bitumen. That's bitumen. Bitumen is a black, highly viscous, sticky form of petroleum that exists in natural deposits like Pitch Lake. It's the primary binder used in asphalt for road construction. In its natural state, it behaves like a slow-moving liquid flowing under pressure over long periods of time. The word bitumen comes from the Latin word bitumen, which referred to mineral pitch or asphalt. Scholars believe the Latin term originates from a Celtic or maybe Sanskrit root meaning to ooze or to pitch from trees, reflecting how ancient civilizations observed the substance seeping directly from the earth. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about Pitch Lake. Number 1, you can't swim in Pitch Lake. It's so dense you could walk across it, but in the rainy season, locals and tourists take a dip in the surface pools, treating it like a therapeutic spa. The asphalt mixture is solid enough across most of its surface to support human weight and even vehicles. Walking across the lake feels like walking on firm but slightly flexible rubber. During the rainy season, though, water collects in the depressions and crevices formed by the shifting asphalt. These pools do not drain easily because the underlying bitumen is impermeable to water. The pools transform the industrial landscape into a natural health spa for locals and international tourists. Visitors frequently take a dip because the water's usually warm and inviting due to the tropical sun beating down on the dark, heat-absorbing asphalt surface. It also contains high concentrations of sulfur and other minerals from the oil deposits below, and many people believe these mineral-rich waters have healing properties that can improve skin conditions and alleviate joint pain. Number 2, the famous explorer Sir Walter Raleigh utilized asphalt from the lake to repair his ships all the way back in the 16th century. In 1595, the English explorer arrived in Trinidad during his search for the mythical city of El Dorado. He encountered the lake and recognized the utility of the material for his fleet. Raleigh wrote that the pitch was excellent quality and didn't melt under the tropical sun. His crew extracted bitumen from the lake to caulk the holes of their wooden ships and prevent water leaks. While some sources will suggest that Raleigh, quote, discovered the lake, indigenous people like the Kalinago obviously already knew about it long before Raleigh's arrival. But Raleigh did introduce the lake to the European continent for the first time, at least as far as we know. It was the first documented encounter sparking international interest in Trinidadian asphalt. The Spanish later named the area Tierra de Brea, which translates to land of pitch, based on what the indigenous people showed them. Number 3, the lake acts like a slow-moving conveyor belt that takes in, preserves, and eventually reveals ancient fossils. Pitch Lake isn't static. It undergoes a constant, slow churning motion driven by gas pressure from below. This movement creates a natural convection current that pulls some objects down and pushes others up to the surface. Over thousands of years, animals and plants became trapped in the sticky substance, much like the famous La Brea tar pits in California. The lack of oxygen inside the asphalt prevents decay and perfectly preserves the organic material. Scientists and miners have discovered many fascinating historical artifacts and fossils emerging from the pitch, including ancient Amerindian pottery, prehistoric tree trunks, and the bones of extinct animals like a giant ground sloth that lived during the Pleistocene epoch. These objects rise to the surface, remain visible for a time, and then sink back down into the depths. Number 4. At the center of Pitch Lake, there's an active area known as the Mother of the Lake, where liquid asphalt continuously bubbles and churns like a cauldron. The central zone is the primary source where fresh petroleum and gas force their way up from the deep subterranean reservoirs. The surface in this area is very unstable and dangerous compared to the solid edges of the lake. Liquid bitumen oozes up alongside escaping gases, which create a distinct bubbling and hissing effect. The immense heat and pressure keep the material in this central area molten and fluid. The constant bubbling looks like a boiling cauldron, warning visitors to maintain a safe distance. Methane and sulfurous gases escape into the air, creating visible ripples and pops across the dark surface. And it's this continuous activity that keeps the entire lake in a constant, slow state of motion. Of course, as with other natural phenomena, ancient folklore have some interesting alternative explanations. The Chima people believed Pitch Lake formed as a sort of retribution after a village violated a sacred taboo by killing hummingbirds, which they believed housed the spirits of their ancestors. The story goes that during a victory celebration after a battle with another tribe, the villagers slaughtered the birds for a feast and used the feathers for decoration, which angered their god. In response, the earth fractured to swallow the entire settlement, covering the area in a sea of liquid bitumen. Traditional storytellers will point to the Mother of the Lake at the center as the exact location of the swallowed village. The lake's natural convection currents regularly push genuine ancient artifacts up to the surface, which to many would seem to confirm the legend. And our fifth and final fun fact for today: Pitch Lake has unique microbial life forms that scientists are studying to try to figure out what extraterrestrial life might look like. While the lake appears inhospitable, scientists have actually discovered thriving communities of microbes living inside the asphalt. These specialized organisms are known as extremophiles because they survive in some of the most extreme and harsh environments on our planet. They live in tiny, microscopic droplets of water scattered throughout the oil and pitch mixture. These microbes survive without any oxygen and consume hydrocarbons for energy. This discovery has significant implications for the field of astrobiology and the search for alien life. Astrobiologists use Pitch Lake as an analog for Saturn's largest moon, Titan, which has lakes of liquid hydrocarbons. If life can thrive in Trinidad's asphalt, it suggests life could potentially exist in the hydrocarbon seas of other worlds. Now for some news you can use. If you plan to visit Pitch Lake, be careful. It is critical for visitors to hire an official, licensed tour guide. And this isn't just because locals can give you fascinating insights into the area, although they can. More importantly, they're the ones who will be able to help you navigate the surface safely. While large sections of the lake are solid enough to walk on, other areas can be soft, sticky, and hazardous. A professional guide will know exactly where the crust is thick enough to support human weight and where the dangerous pockets of liquid pitch are. They can also point out the sulfur pools where visitors can safely bathe. The surface temperature and stability of the lake can change not only with the seasons, but even throughout the day. Solar radiation heats the dark asphalt, making sections that were solid in the morning soft and pliable by the afternoon. Guides monitor these subtle physical changes and understand the layout of the underground gas vents. Following an expert is the best way to get the thrill of exploring a natural wonder without risking injury or ruining your footwear. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked, could the conditions at Pitch Lake really cause it to replenish whatever's extracted, giving us an infinite supply of asphalt? Well, the idea of an endless supply sounds great, but it's a fallacy. The lake replenishes itself from deep subterranean reserves, but the supply is ultimately limited. Heavy industrial extraction has already caused the surface level of the lake to drop by about 10 to 15 feet over the past century. The asphalt moves upward due to intense gas pressure, but those underground reservoirs will eventually run dry if mining exceeds the natural replenishment rate. Lake pitch originally formed thousands of years ago when tectonic plates created faults that allowed crude oil to seep upward, leaving behind an estimated 10 million tons of heavy asphalt after lighter compounds evaporated. We don't have the exact date when it formed, but carbon dating indicates the surface has been capturing and churning out fossils for at least about 5,000 years, but the tectonic plate movements and fault lines that allowed the oil to come up to the surface began developing millions of years ago. Regardless, the material mined from Pitch Lake is incredibly durable even in extreme weather conditions and heavy vehicle traffic. And that's why people have used it to strengthen their asphalt mixes and pave famous locations all around the world, including the streets surrounding Buckingham Palace, London's Westminster Bridge, and the runways at LaGuardia Airport in New York. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about Trinidad's Pitch Lake with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.